Good morning, everyone, and welcome to virtual story time at the Onondaga Free Library. My name is Miss Kori, and I am very happy to be here to share story time with you today. We are going to have lots of fun today, so parents, I hope you will stick around and join us because today we are going to model for you the 5 practices that you can do anytime, anywhere, on a daily basis to help your child get ready to read and ready to learn. And those 5 practices are simply reading, writing, singing, talking, and playing. We're going to begin by singing a song, and it is a song I think that you all are familiar with. It usually goes, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. But today we're going to sing it, and we're going to use the 5 practices. And we're basically going to sing, the more we sing together, the smarter we'll be. And we're going to start with singing. So here we go. The more we sing together, 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 the more we sing together, the smarter we'll be. 'Cause I sing and you sing and he sings and she sings, the more we sing together, the smarter we'll be. And now we're going to sing about reading. The more we read together, 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 the more we read together, the smarter we'll be. 'Cause I read and you'll read and they read and we read, the more we read together, the smarter we'll be. And talking. The more we talk together, 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 the more we talk together, the smarter we'll be. 'Cause I talk and you talk and they talk and we talk, the more we talk together, the smarter we'll be. Can also write together. And we will write. And even if you're not writing yet, you can do things with your fingers to develop those small motor skills to get you ready to write. The more we write together, 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 the more we write together, the smarter we'll be. And last of all, it is very important that we play. The more we play together, 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 the more we play together, the smarter we'll be. 'Cause I play and you play and mom plays and dad plays, the more we play together, the smarter we'll be. Great job, everyone. Great job. Parents, singing is very important with your children because singing breaks words down into their smaller parts and helps children identify the different sounds of the syllables and letters. So try to sing with your children every day. Today, I'd like to share with you one of my very favorite fairy tales. And parents, fairy tales are a great thing to explore with your children because they help them understand basic story elements such as plot, character, and setting, but they also teach very important lessons about actions and consequences. As I said, today we're going to tell a story about my favorite fairy tale, and maybe you can guess from what I'm wearing what that fairy tale is. Yes. Are you ready? Here we go. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who everybody loved, and her grandmother had made for her a red riding cloak with a hood. And that little girl loved that red riding cloak so much that she wore it everywhere she went. And sooner or later, everyone in town began to call her Little Red Riding Hood. Well, one day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said to her, "Little Red, I need you to take this basket of cakes to your grandmother. She's not feeling very well, and these will make her feel better. But mind your manners and do not leave the path for any reason." Well, Little Red was happy to go off to her grandmother's house, so she grabbed the basket and off she went. And she was strolling down the path, nice and friendly, when all of a sudden appeared next to her the wolf. And the wolf says to Little Red Riding Hood, "Hey,
Hey, little girl, where are you going so early in the morning?"
well, I'm going to visit Grandma and bring her these lovely cakes because she's not feeling very well, and my mother says that these cakes will make her feel better."
Oh, well, where does your grandmother live?
Well, she lives just over the hill and under those three big oak trees.
Aha! I know where that is. Hey, look at those beautiful flowers over there off the path. Why don't you go pick some flowers to take to your grandmother?
That is a great idea. I'm sure my mother and my grandmother would love a bouquet of flowers. So I'm going to go right now and pick some flowers. And so she did. And Little Red Riding Hood left the path, picked the flowers, and when she did so, the wolf ran off to Grandma's house as fast as he could. And he snuck up and he knocked on the door. And Grandma said, and the wolf said in his very best little girl voice, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I've brought you some cakes to make you feel better." And Grandma said, "Oh, and so the wolf walked right in. And when he saw Grandma lying up against her pillows, he pounced on the bed and he gobbled her up in one gulp. And after that, the wolf put on Grandma's bed cap and he laid down in her bed to rest and wait. Shortly after that, Little Red Riding Hood came to Grandma's house and she knocked on the door. And the wolf said,
Who is it?
and Little Red said, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I've come to bring you some cakes to make you feel better." And the wolf said,
Come on in.
and Little Red Riding Hood came into the house and she looked at her grandmother in the bed and she sensed that something maybe wasn't right. And so she climbed up a little closer and she looked at her grandma and she said, "Grandma, what big eyes you have."
Well, the better to see you with, my dear,
said the wolf. And Red Riding Hood looked closer and she said, "Grandma, what big ears you have." And the wolf said,
Yeah, I'm getting old, so it's better to hear you with, my dear.
and then Little Red Riding Hood looked even closer and she said, "Grandma, what big teeth you have."
Well, the better to eat you with, my dear.
And the wolf jumped on Little Red Riding Hood and he swallowed her up in one big gulp. Oh, now the wolf was really tired, so he curled up in Grandma's bed. And as he's sleeping, he began to snore. And Grandma's good friend, the woodsman, was walking by her house, and he heard that snore. And he said to himself, "Boy, Grandma doesn't sound very good. I'd better go and check on her." So he snuck up and he peeked in the window, and he saw in the bed the wolf lying there with his big fat belly. And he said to himself, "I'll bet that wolf swallowed up Grandma. I will save her." So he ran into the house and he pounced on the wolf and he jumped on his belly and poof, out popped Little Red Riding Hood. So the hunter pounced on the belly again and out popped Grandma. And that wolf He was so startled and so sore from being pounced on that he ran away, never to be seen again. And Little Red Riding Hood climbed up into her grandmother's lap and she said, "Grandma, I was scared. It was dark in there." And Grandma said, "I was scared too, honey, but we're okay now." And Little Red Riding Hood said, "The next time, I promise I will not leave the path and I will always listen to my mother." And that is the lesson of the story. So let me ask you a question. Was that big bad wolf? Was he good or bad? Well, we say he's bad. Why was he bad? What did he do? Well, he tricked Little Red Riding Hood, and he tricked the grandma, and he lied to the grandma and said he was somebody else. And then he ate the grandma and he ate Little Red Riding Hood. That's very, very bad. But what could Little Red Riding Hood have done to protect herself? That's right. She should have listened to her mother and stayed on the path. And that is the story of Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. So next I'd like to share with you one of my favorite stories, and this is called A Fractured Fairy Tale. It's a story based on the Little Red Riding Hood story, but they've changed it up a little bit. And when I read this story, I'm going to ask you to think about what's different. The name of this book is Federico and the Wolf. And if we look at the cover of this book, we can already see some of the things that might be different. In the Little Red Riding Hood story, Little Red is a girl wearing a red riding coat with a hood. But in this story, the main character is a little boy, and he's wearing a red hoodie. The wolf is still in this story, as you can see right here, and we also have a basket in this story, just like the original. So let's take a look at Federico and the Wolf. When we open this book, the first thing that we see are the end papers. And the end papers are absolutely beautiful. And the end papers can be used to help introduce the story. And you can see right here that we have a picture of Federico, and we also have a picture of the wolf. After the end papers, we find this page, which is called the title page. And the title page is where you can find the name of the book. And the name of this book again is Federico and the Wolf. Now this story is written by somebody named Rebecca J. Gomez, and she is the author. She wrote the words to the story. The illustrator of this story is Eliza Chavari, and she drew the pictures. But there's also another very important group of people that we need to say thank you to today, and that is the publishers. The publishers are the people who take the words from the author and the pictures from the illustrator, and they put them all together into this beautiful book that we can share. So we want to say thank you very much to Clarion Books, which is a division of Houghton Milford Harcourt, for letting us share this book today. Are you ready? Here we go. Once upon a modern time, a boy named Federico left to buy ingredients to make the perfect pico. Do you know what pico is? Pico is salsa that we eat with our chips. Pico is another name for salsa. So Federico's going to get the ingredients to make salsa or pico. Cuidado, said his mother. Be careful. As he pedaled toward the shops, mind Abuelo's grocery list. That's Grandpa's grocery list. and don't make other stops. Past the buildings, cars, and cabs, young Federico scurried until he reached the marketplace, where people browsed, unhurried. And in South America, when they go shopping, they don't go to a big indoor store like we do. They go to a big outdoor market. It's a beautiful picture of the market. And Federico shopping in the market. He filled the basket on his bike with Romas, tomatoes, herbs and limes, jalapenos, onions, and a pack of Anaheims. He added garlic, pickles, bread, and other market goods, then pedaled through the city park and deep into the woods. Ooh, he's going into the woods. Isn't that where Little Red Riding Hood was? And who do you think he's going to meet in the woods? That's right, the wolf. He looks pretty friendly, right? Yeah, he looks pretty friendly. A fallen branch had blocked the path as Rico stopped his ride. With steady force, he pushed and budged the barrier aside. Hola! Hello, called un lobo, the wolf. Catching Rico unaware, I see you've packed a hefty lunch. Ya got some grub to spare? Now he looks a little scary, doesn't he? Sorry, Lobo, Rico said. I must be on my way. I have to be at Grandpa's house by 12 o'clock today. Federico grabbed his bike and left the wolf behind, but little did he know the wolf had other plans in mind. Where do you think the wolf is going to go? La Tienda, the store. La Tienda was deserted. Rico listened. Not a sound. The sign said closed, but what were those? Some paw prints on the ground. Federico peeked inside, alarmed by what he saw. A figure waved him over with a black and furry paw. Abuelo? Whispered Federico, pulling off his hood.
Yes, it's me, but I can't see. Come closer if you could.
I think you need a shave. Your beard has grown so thick.
You think so?
Said El Lobo.
Steady grooming is the trick.
Your arms, they've gotten grande, big.
My new workouts made me strong.
New dentures, too?
They help me chew because they're sharp
And long. By now, the wolf was drooling. All this chatter's getting old.
I'm hungry, bub. I need some grub before I pass out cold.
Okay, said Rico. Let me see. Oh, I've brought your favorite treats. Whole grain bread, a cabbage head, and a jar of pickled beets. El Lobo's nose began to twitch. Mi niño, here's the deal. Set those yucky things aside, 'cause I'll make you my meal. Doesn't he look hungry? And a little scary, too. Ooh, let's see what happens. He bounded from La Silla, the counter, with a grunting, growling shout, but Rico tossed some chili powder straight into his mouth. Do you know what chili powder is? That's right. It's spice, and it is very hot. And look what happens to the wolf. The wolf howled, he sniffed, he snuffed, he itched and twitched and wheezed. He tried to wipe his drippy nose, but ah, ah, achoo! He sneezed. Federico ducked and dashed, then rummaged through his sack. Not so fast, you tasty tyke, I haven't had my snack. But Rico quickly plotted. When the wolf's mouth opened wide, he grabbed an habanero and he jammed it deep inside. You know what an habanero is? It is a very hot pepper. What do you think is going to happen to the wolf? What would happen to you if you ate a really hot pepper? Ah! And Lobo gulped, he gagged and coughed. His ojos blazed bright red. Steam was puffing out his ears. I need to dunk my head, he said. He hurtled through La Puerta with a shrieking gasp and scream, and he dashed as fast as he could go toward the distant stream. Ayuda! Cried El Buelo from inside a bolted box. Rico found him safe and snug in just his underwear and socks. Gracias, he scrambled out with shouts of pride and joy. I thought that wolf would do us in, but you prevailed, my boy. That means that Federico did good. He was very smart. They cleaned the mess and Gramps got dressed. Then they shared a bit of lunch. How about we make a sauce that packs a special punch? Now they're going to make their pico. They chopped and diced and used lots of spice and simmered sauce all night and bottled their concoction. Wolf Bane's salsa. Extra bite. The So that is the story of Federico and the wolf. And it's like Little Red Riding Hood, but they changed a couple of things up, didn't they? For example, the characters were different. We had a little boy instead of a little girl, and we had an abuelo, a grandpa, instead of a grandma. He tricked him with some spice, and the wolf never got to eat little Federico, did he? No, because Federico was smart. And instead of the wolf tricking Federico, Federico tricked the wolf. Another thing that I really love about this story is at the very end, you have a recipe here so that you can make your very own pico. And there is also a glossary, which is a list of all the Spanish words that we used in the story today so that you can review them and remember what they were. Like un lobo is the wolf. And that is Federico. Parents, reading with your child is the single most important thing that you can do to get them ready to read and ready to learn and ready for school. Okay, so now we're going to play a little bit. And we're going to play the story of Little Red Riding Hood, but we're going to do another fractured version, which means we're going to change the story up again. So this time, let's think about what's the same and what's different. What's going to be the same in this story is the setting. The story will also take place in the forest. Another thing that is the same is we will still have Little Red Riding Hood and the grandma and the huntsman. But can you think of another story that has a big bad wolf in it? What if I sung this song for you? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Da, 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 da. That's right. The three little pigs are also going to be in this story. So we're really mixing it up. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Let's play in the forest while the wolf is not around. Wolf, are you there? I'm putting on my underwear. Let's play in the forest while the wolf is not around. Wolf, are you there? I'm putting on my t-shirt. Hey, let's play in the forest while the wolf is not around. Wolf, are you there? I'm putting on my pants. Hey, let's play in the forest while the wolf is not around. Wolf, are you there? I'm putting on my shirt. Let's play in the forest while Wolf is not around. Wolf, are you there? I'm putting on my shoes. Let's play in the forest while the wolf is not around. Wolf, are you there? Yes, and I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat pancakes and syrup. My favorite. The end. So now let's sing about another animal in the forest who is not very good. So the setting is the same. We're going to be in the forest. But the animal this time is Little Bunny Foo Foo. Can you make Little Bunny Foo Foo? And sing along with me, if you would. Little Bunny Foo Foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. Down came the good fairy, and she said, Little Bunny Foo Foo, I don't want to see you scooping up the field mice and popping 'em on the head. I'll give you 3 chances, and if you don't behave, I'm going to turn you into a duck. And the very next day, Little Bunny Foo Foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. And down came the good fairy, and she said, Little Bunny Foo Foo, I don't want to see you scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. I'll give you 2 more chances, and if you don't behave, I'm going to turn you into a duck. But the very next day, Little Bunny Foo Foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. And down came the good fairy, and she said, Little Bunny Foo Foo, I don't want to see you scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. I'll give you 1 more chance. And if you misbehave, I'm going to turn you into a duck. But the very next day, Little Bunny Foo Foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. And down came the good fairy, and she went poof and turned Little Bunny Foo Foo into a duck. And the very next day, little ducky foo foo waddling through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping 'em on the head. Did little bunny foo foo learn his lesson? No, not even after she turned him into a duck. So maybe she should think of something else to turn him into. So maybe he likes being a duck. What do you think? Great job, everybody. Okay, well, that is our story time for today. Please join us again at our next virtual story time, which will be in 2 weeks. Same place, same time, right here. And we look forward to seeing you. I had a really great time today, and let's just sing our final goodbye song. And this is a very simple one, and it just goes like this. Story time is over now, over now, over now. Story time is over now. We had fun. And I hope you had fun. And please come again next time, again next time, again next time. Please come again next time. We'll have more fun. And we'll do more reading, writing, singing, talking, and playing. Good night, everybody. Have a great day.